Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rock and Roll Connection with the weekly comic book roundup. And right now, I'll be covering the X-Men books as well as the Avengers book for the week. Alright, we're going to kick things off with Uncanny X-Men number 18. Alright, so where we left off, the X-Men had suffered yet another loss. Wolfsbane, who had left the team previously, had been murdered by a group of by a bunch of 20-somethings. While most of the team went to the funeral, Wolverine opted to bust out one of the team's prisoners, Quenon, and take her with him to go figure out just who it was that killed her, and then to lay on his own and take care of them himself. However, upon getting there and being shown telepathically what had happened, and also giving the killers a bag full of melee weapons to fight back with against him, turned out that the Office of National Emergency sent a bunch of troops as at least nearby, just in case. And Logan brought back Quenon and put her back in her cell. He showed back up to the bar, where the same suit he left in, just full of bullet holes, which led to him and Cyclops getting into a fight, which was broken up by Juggernaut, who reminded them, hey, we've got all these other people, there's all the other people we can to fight. There's no need for us to fight amongst ourselves. My brothers, Mr. Sinister, the Marauders, Emma Frost, and everyone stops and looks at him and asks who Emma Frost is. So, like previous issues, we open up with a quote. "I need to keep this together long enough to see it all through." Presume that can be attributed to Scott Summers. So, we open up with Harry's Hideaway. With Logan knocking on Ileana's door, let her know he's done. And, whatever it is they're doing there, it's not for him anymore. He was around for saving the world or whatever, but this is... no one's trying to save anything anymore. They're just trying to make sure they look good in the history books. And he lets her know that Chamber found something. Cut to subway station where the train goes by. Heard of an odd-looking group, and when it does, it's done. The X-Men show up. Turns out the odd-looking group are, of course, the Marauders. Who supposedly killed the remaining Morlocks. Both Arclight and Harpoon, however, say, "Whoa, this wasn't us. If it had been us, we'd be bragging about it." And apparently, but yeah, the two teams duke it out. And soon enough, they surrender. However, Chamber doesn't care about surrender and sets them all on fire. However, Harpoon, as he's dying, or before dying, runs Chamber through with one of his harpoons, and then gets shot in the head by Hope. They get back to the bar only to find it in flames. They get everyone out, but not soon enough to get Dark Beast to Chamber, and Chamber dies on them. Then it turns out that the man who started the fire is none other than Mr. Sinister. So the X-Men fight Sinister, and it turns out that the firefighters that show up are actually all clones of Sinister, who then combine with him to make a giant Sinister, and then Havoc just lets loose his powers, and they're able to escape. And turns out he almost lost molecular cohesion the previous night. He wakes up the next night. Almost lost molecular cohesion the previous night. It turns out this apartment is Karma's. She was setting it up for a while. Basically, the place that they are at is Karma's. Girl, she has money, but she wanted to get her life and funds back in order after they were cured of being all affected by a warlock, by a technovirus. But turns out Karma's leaving the team as well. She's got her brother and sister to take care of, and she also has she's arranged to adopt or take custody of Jubilee's son Shogo as well. And Havoc and Cyclops discuss what they're going to do. But when Cyclops leaves, he's got to call Captain America and tell him to come pick up Sinister. At the end, we cut to the Hellfire Club, where Emma Frost is telepathically keeping tabs on the X-Men, with Mystique in tow. And while they and Emma's glad to hear they cleaned up the club's marauder problem, and they managed to catch Sinister. However, they don't know anything. But it turns out that Cyclops is calling Mystique, which is where the issue ends. Anyways, moving on to Age of X-Men number 4. Age of X-Men Next Gen number 4. So, where we left off, Pixie thought that Armor was using Unveil, though she's fairly certain that Enola is. And of course, it turns out that Glob can undo, or at least block, mind wipes, which he's trying to do. Which, as we open up, he's trying to do for Rockslide. He's not sure if Rockslide has to be completely covered, or if just covering his head will do it. But the three of them are going after Enola. They have an address, so and at Maggot's safe house, the no, they're not extra. They're actually a splinter group from the extracts. They're they don't. They're not about. After all, they decided they're going to blow up the school library. So Department X shows up at the school and starts looking around. But since Pixie went to the dean and her teacher about what happened, she's working with Department X, or she's helping Department X with their investigation. Also, should be noted that those two damn psychic twins pop by again. And Shark Girl runs into them, explaining that she saw the rock slide, glob, and armor going off. As they had to be somewhere. They show up at the safe house. Get into an argument, however. Rockslide sees what they have written on the wall. We were not meant to be alone, to express their love. Humankind was meant to be together. I can't read all of it, but yeah. And it strikes a chord with him. But a fight does break out between the two groups. And Rockslide comes upon their bloopers for Summer's library. Cut to Enola walking around with a big old backpack on. He goes into the library. However, we cut to the Department X members leaving. Turns out Blob has found Glob's diary. And he read it. There's some stuff in here that he thinks the X-Men need to see. And so Enola, with the explosives to destroy the library, is walking around trying to find, presumably looking for a spot to place the explosives. Meanwhile, Enola, Armor, and Rockslide try to catch him, but the bombs go off. The bomb goes off. And that's where the issue ends. And we got ourselves Marvelous X-Men number 4. Where we left off here, the X-Men had encountered Apocalypse, or Sabanur, and had some odd after effects. For example, Colossus kept on having odd flashes of memory of him and Kitty Pryde together. But that can't be right, he's never met Kitty Pryde. So we open up in London on Xavier Day. The X-Men are there and, celebrating the holiday. However, Apocalypse and the Extracts appear. Apocalypse, simply said, we're not, don't fear us. We're not what they make us out to be. Always kiss, hug, touch, feel, embrace, my children. We wish to look upon your love. And so, they do. The crowd does, but the X-Men try to break it up. But during everything, Colossus tries to grab Kitty Pryde, but his hand passes right through her. But he suddenly has another flash of memory of the two of them together, and he kisses her in front of everybody. And Monet of Department X lets Psylocke know what's going on, that just happened. And then, all said and done, Jean basically tells everyone to go home. Later on, the X-Men are debating what to do about Ed Sabanur. However, it turns out that bizarre fissures are opening in multiple cities across the world. Department X has been insisting that citizens do not look inside. They appear to be projecting false and disorienting images of the past. And so, X-Men decides him and Jean will go and take care of them. Everyone else will just, take some time. Take some time to themselves. One of the first fissures they come across has Forge and Storm together. It was at a point when Storm had lost her powers and was lamenting the loss. Then we see the various X-Men, taking their time to themselves. Nature Girl in nature. Magneto, get a map of Africa. Nightcrawler teleporting away out from somewhere. Storm believes that violence can't be the answer, and they must meet them with the expected diplomacy. But X-23 realizes that someone's been in her house. A man. There's the typewriter in Jean's office. Meanwhile, Colossus has trashed his room, saying that he's failed his team and he's a disgrace. Packs his stuff and then throws his uniform into the fire. As he's leaving, he's met by Department X. But it does. He fights them off. We continue to see Nate and Jean together, closing various fissures. And seeing some of them as well. X-23 continues to investigate, and she discovers a hidden room, or a false wall in her closet. Which has guns and shirts. And she puts someone else's shit in my house. Which is impossible because she's always lived there. Nature Girl rings the doorbell because apparently there's been a murder. And so the issue ends with a quote from Blake. If the doors of perception were cleansed, everything would appear to human as it is, infinite. For man has closed himself up until he sees all things through narrow chinks of his cavern. William Blake, The Marriage of Heaven and Hell. And the next issue of Marvel's X-Men will be the final issue. as the Age of X-Men comes to a close. Just in time. Well, as the Age of X-Men will be coming to a close in July, actually, just in time for Jonathan Hickman's run on X-Men to begin. Anyways, that's the X-Men books. Now let's move on to our one Avengers title of the week, Black Widow number 5. Alrighty. Where we left off, Black Widow and Tiger managed to take down No Restraints play. However, it turns out that and they've been sent to, after the Prince of Madripoor, because he's apparently the name of. He's apparently been running No Restraints play. However, it would turn out that Tech Ed, their tech guy, was really in charge and just wanted to get rid of the Prince of Madripoor, as well as Tiger. So, Tech Ed makes his escape. Back at the Sovereign Hotel, it turns out that while both Tiger and Black Widow survived, the Prince did not. And so Widow realizes there's still one more loose end that Tech Ed has to take care of. The rescued children. Turns out that Ed had set up a bomb that was linked to his computer, with the kind of thing a small child might easily say, "Hey, I'll go and click that." When Tiger arrives, it's explained that Widow's inside clearing out all the explosives. Off the coast, Tech Ed is on a boat, quite the boat at that. But of course, Widow gets on, and he tries to give him, "I'm a victim" speech. His whole plan was to bankrupt all these people, supposedly. And it looks like Widow took him down. Though I'm not certain if it's not entirely clear if he's alive or not. And then she gives Tiger the hard drive that he had, which has enough encrypted currency to make any future a reality for Madripoor. Also, it turns out that the kids are now training. Weightlifting, stick fighting, rope climbing, hitting the bags, jump roping. And the one who was had her hands cut off, is given prosthetics as promised by Black Widow. I would presume they're Stark Tech. The issue ends with Natasha having slipped into Steve Rogers' apartment. They talk a bit. And she said, "Hey, you'll come back from all of this. People need you. You might not feel it, but they do. The world needs you. You're not anyone's tool or pawn. You are in control of what happens now. And she'll always be there if he needs her." And sadly, this is the last issue. I can't remember if this was supposed to be a miniseries or not. I presume so, because usually an ongoing gets gets at least a much longer, attempt to figure out if it's going to be, or a mini, just if it's going to last or not, than just 5 issues. Anyway, I'm sad to see it end because, like I said, it was becoming one of my favorite Avengers titles. All right, that is it for the X-Men and Avengers titles for this week. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification icon or the bell icon to be notified when I put new content. And as always, links to my Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon are in the description box down below. This is Rock Roll Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.